Okay, so I did a little bit of a whoopsie, but I think I'm gonna make it work. I filmed a video with Jimmy, the personal trainer aficionado, and I meant to make it into a more cohesive thought about what's gonna happen to gyms and how we're gonna see personal training become a thing that's more popular than I don't know. The video didn't materialize, and I really had a hard time editing it, but I had such a really good conversation with Jimmy that I just thought, hey, we're talking about interesting stuff. Jimmy knows what he's talking about. The best possible thing that I could do is just upload the conversation that I had with Jimmy. Jimmy's making more money now than he was pre-quarantine. And he talks about exactly how that's possible, specifically talking about gyms closing and how he still has clients. And I'll let you watch it, but he's not in the gyms obviously picking up new clients. He's found other methods. So we talk about how you can find new clients while gyms are closed, for example. We talk about what the future of personal training is going to look like. We talk about how he's dropped all of the weightlifting and he's gotten jacked using just resistance bands, which, by the way, there's a link in the description to the resistance bands that he uses. So if you're interested in those, you can pick them up. I've linked them. We talk about how gyms are going to survive in this whole touchless thing that we're doing now. So it's super interesting. I don't know. I'll let you judge for yourself. But here is the newest conversation with Jimmy, the personal trainer, on how to be a personal trainer in 2020, I guess, since everything has changed. Jimmy, welcome back, man. How you been?
I've been great. I think we'll get into it, but I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now, but life has been good, thankfully. And yeah.
Just to give some context, you and I made a video last year while you were my personal trainer. I have spent the entire year since then inspired by the work we did together. So I will thank you. I'll thank you again for that, because so was opportunity for me to do that. And I'm glad to give you my own updates as well, how I'm doing physically.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for later. So we made that one video. It's somewhere, I'm assuming it's got 50K views at this point. I can't remember exactly where
I
it's
think
at.
so.
Somewhere in that vicinity.
I check in once in a while, but
46 as of today.
46K. Okay.
Yeah.
I try to respond to a lot of if anyone has questions.
Yeah.
I'll try to hop on there and answer with comments, and I think our video, our other video, is also kind of taking off now too.
Yeah, it's just now. So and then we made essentially a follow-up update video, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, pre-COVID. Yeah. And in person, while you could still do it, and now that video is just getting traction. Now it'll probably hit 1,000 views in the next few weeks, hopefully. But it certainly has taken the uptick, as do a lot of my videos. They take a while for YouTube to decide that they're actually worthwhile. So anyway. You have some updates for me, so just spill the beans, man. Let me know what's going on. How you been since COVID, essentially?
I think a lot of I think I've done a good job of staying busy. So what I mean by that is, this is something that I try to keep track of. Is I don't want this time period where the fitness industry as a whole has come to a stop. The reason it has come to a stop is essentially because people can't get together. Large groups of people can't get together.
Yeah.
But that really, if you think about the personal training side, it really has nothing to do with personal training. It has a small part to do with how you get the client. But I mean, when we were working together, I could easily step back and have continued the same service. And so for me, as soon as this happened, I wanted to step it up in terms of the things that I was doing to better myself as a trainer. So since
you saw it
COVID,
as an opportunity.
Yeah, oh, definitely huge opportunity. Okay. I mean, even if everything stayed the same, it's an opportunity just in the fact that the industry was quote unquote going down, and a lot of your competitors or my competitors are, they got discouraged or whatever,
Yeah.
distracted or anything. So that, now's the time to really hit it. It's like the weekend or
Sure.
holidays. You really want to get ahead in those times, and this has just been like a long holiday.
Yeah.
So I stepped on my game in terms of I've still continued to train clients one-on-one, whether it's in stairwells or in parks or by the water or on the sidewalk in a little secluded area, anywhere really, and whether they need to wear face masks to feel comfortable or if they need to bring their own cleaning equipment or anything like that. So I've really kept my training business going. It's actually been, money-wise, it's probably been the best that it's been ever, because I don't, right now, since the gym is closed, the ratio of clients where I have to pay commission has gone way down. So I'm actually making more money than before,
When you
which
say
is
you have
awesome.
to pay commission, you're saying commission to the gyms that you were using or something
Exactly,
like that?
yeah. So some of the
Because
gyms that I train at.
you're using free resources like parks.
Exactly. Parks, there's, anything, stairs. I even actually made, I've always wanted to make an ebook, right? A little ebook where I can instruct people on doing something. So I made an ebook on training, working out with bands. So ever since this thing started, well, first of all, I was still, and you mentioned this, I look a little bit, filling out my t-shirt a little bit more.
Yeah, before we were just chatting a little bit before we hit record, and this guy looks buff, man. Look at those pecs.
I appreciate that. But I started, but last time I saw you, I was preparing to run a marathon.
Sure.
Right. And that was mid-March. I think it was literally, 1 week before the quarantine, the stay-at-home started, and all the gyms shut down. So
you got to run it.
I got to run it, but the official race was canceled, right? And so it got canceled maybe the week before. Okay. And so what I had to do was just, and I'd been training to run on this day. So I went out to the track, Kezar Stadium, SF, and then I just ran it by myself.
Nice.
I only made it through 21 miles, so I didn't actually finish. But I prepared for the race. I ran the race, and I had to climb the fence to get in and everything. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run this thing because I've been training for it. Although I didn't have the best time doing it, I ran it, and then I started lifting. So I was like, I've been looking forward to lifting weights.
Yeah.
Obviously the gym was closed, so I just took what I had. I had a set of bands, and then I went to the stairwell, hooked it up to the stairs, started working out. And then as I think a couple weeks went by, I was like, you know what, this is a great opportunity for me to create a whole library of exercises where that's going to be in high demand, where people are going to be like, I need to work out over the next few months. Let me make an ebook. So I've sold 50 copies at $9 a piece or something like that.
Where can people find your ebook right now if they want it?
Builtbyjimmy.net.
Okay.
Builtbyjimmy.net.
All right. I'll make sure I link that in the description.
Thank you.
Are you telling me that that what I'm looking at right now, the version of Jimmy that I see in the camera, is someone lifting bands?
Oh yeah. Just from all bands, yeah.
That's
bands, body weight
nuts,
stuff.
man. Bands and body weight.
Yeah. No, yeah. And honestly, bands, I think that I've always used bands more of a supplement to all my free weight stuff. But there's a lot of benefits that are even better than, free weights. Accommodating resistance is a aspect of bands that's really important, where you have a certain tension, but with any movement there's always going to be a strong part of the movement, the weak part of the movement. And so in bands, kind of the same thing. You have a strong, your band gets stronger as you pull it, right? So the tension gets bigger. And so using that concept to your advantage and setting up the exercise so it matches your strength curve in each exercise.
Interesting.
Can be super useful, along with the fact that it's extremely versatile. So if you want to put stress on two different joints going two different directions, you can easily do that. Whereas when you train with free weights, you have to adjust to gravity. Everything is up and down. So whether you adjust the bench to a certain angle, whether you lay down on the ground and do something, everything has to adjust to the tension. Whereas now you can adjust the tension to whatever you're doing. Which is
your ebook describes the techniques that you're using. So personal trainers that are watching this video, if they're wondering how exactly you've adopted, you've offloaded weight training and onboarded and replaced with bands, this ebook describes how you did that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think people can easily take a look. It's got over 75 exercises, and it's full body. So it's got legs, arms, chest, back, shoulders, core. And so it's really easy. It's very, very easy to see the concepts that I'm using in order to stress certain muscle groups. So
something that you've always been really strong with is your legs, man. You got monster legs. Well, I should say you had monster legs. How are your legs now, dude? I don't know. I mean, are the bands keeping up essentially? Because if people scroll back on your Instagram to when you were lifting weights like a year and a half ago, the videos of you doing that, like, dude, your legs are crazy. Are you feeling like the bands are able to keep up with your level of weight training on legs?
Definitely. So my legs look I would probably the same as ever. The difference is, so although let's take something that the free weights are really good at, right? Like the deadlift. So it's one of my stronger lifts. I've deadlifted 601 pounds. Of course, I'm never going to be able to do a deadlift at 600 pounds with bands. I would either have to, because I mean, if anything, the grip is not going to work out. You have to be doing it with a tire
or something.
You'd have to have some crazy setup with the tension. But what it can do is try and get close to providing, let's say, 350 pounds of tension just on your glutes, right? So when you do a deadlift, the glutes function is to stand you up. So it's to bring the hips from backwards behind you to forwards, right? And that's where you stand up. And so the bands really are so much better than free weights on working your glutes in that regard. And so I can really load up my glutes that way. Same thing with the quads and the hamstrings. By loading up the band right at your knee joint and having the knee joint pull forward or backwards, you can really put the same amount of tension on there. It just won't translate to weight in your hands, if that makes sense. Okay, so
interesting.
You can definitely find ways to overload your any muscle that you want. You just probably won't be able to do compound movements with the same amount of weight, but the tension may be very, very similar. Of course, it's almost impossible to say it's exactly the same, but it would be very, very similar. So my legs I work my legs just as I would normally. It's just I have to set up the tension a certain way each time.
So since COVID, I've had to axe the gym as it has the rest of the world, which is crazy to even say, but I've gotten rid of the gym. And what I've learned is that I didn't need the gym, and in some cases the gym was holding me back. I am more fit as I talk to you today than I was pre-COVID. So, it's a different kind of fit. It's a different kind of fit, right? Because I'm actually not quite as beefy. Not that I was beefy, but I'm a little less beefy, a little bit more leaned out, but I'm much more of an athlete today than I was back then. So I feel very comfortable in my body right now. So you're a personal trainer, right? You're not a gym owner. You don't own you don't own a physical space. That's why you have to pay commissions, right? Or had to pay commissions. Dude, what do you think is going to happen to fitness as an industry? Like, who's the winners? Who's the losers? Is it a totally new world? Do people go back to the gym after this is all over? Like, what are you thinking?
I honestly, so surface level. Well, here's what I think. I think successful people are always going to find ways to succeed. Okay, so for example, I think surface level
Yeah.
places like Orange Theory Fitness, places like Barry's Boot Camp, places like Soul Cycle.
Yeah.
I think surface level, those places are going to suffer right off the bat because of this fear of if I get next to somebody and they're sweating and whatnot,
Yeah.
and we're touching the same
Particles,
things,
dude.
I'm gonna get
Particles all
sick.
over.
Exactly.
Planet Fitness, traditional gyms, all included. Athletic
Exactly,
clubs,
yeah.
all of that.
All that stuff. But
Right.
what I foresee is that the people that are behind all these huge brands and successful companies, like these guys find a way. I don't, look, if I wanted to make a Barry's Boot Camp, I don't know how old it is, but maybe 20 years ago before it started, there were many opportunities for people to do that, but whoever started Barry's Boot Camp, they just won. These guys are winners. So I think, fitness in general as an industry, I think the revenue streams will change, but
They're going to find a way, you're saying.
People are going to find a way. People are going to find a way. Personal training, I think, will be more important than ever.
Yeah.
But I think right off the bat, any group classes will suffer. Any participation-based group classes. So all the brands that are trying to bring in just as many people as possible, pack them in, and then charge them per session. Those companies will probably struggle right off the rip. But I honestly, as a trainer, I'm not really going to worry too much about that. It'll play out, and I'll keep my eye on it. But as a trainer, I think the personal training space is wide open right now.
Yeah, I'm curious. Do you think personal training as an industry is gonna grow like 10% or like double or like triple or 10x? Like, is personal training now suddenly this thing that is on everyone's radar?
It would depend on the price point. I wouldn't be surprised if it doubled. Honestly wouldn't be surprised if it doubled.
I wouldn't either. I think I think personal training is. So here's my play-by-play. I think everyone's going to do the at-home workout stuff until they injure themselves, and then they're going to end up in a position like I was in because there's no form accountability. And they're not spending money on gym memberships, so where does that money go, right? It goes to fixing the problems with their body, which is exactly what happened to me. So I think that's going to lead to a ton of people discovering what personal fitness can do. And then on top of that, a lot of us have just discovered that we didn't even need the gym in the first place. So I'm not going back to a traditional gym. I'm just not going to do it. I don't even want to go back to work in the office either.
I love it. That's a huge point. That's an amazing point because that's one thing that I think just as part of my lifestyle didn't really understand as well is my reliance on gyms is really I was able to switch out of it because switch out of it like on a dime because it's the gym has always for me just been a funnel for clients. That's all it was for me. So I think it might hurt the people that are really, really, really reliant. For example, if you are a powerlifting coach, I think it might hurt you, or an Olympic lifting coach, something like that, or CrossFit coach, something like that, where you really you are there for the gym. You live your life for the gym. But I think, my clients right now, and even myself, I want to use the gym to enhance my life. And so I don't have this reliance on the gym. The gym is its own ecoscope, or what is it? Ecosystem. Yeah. It's got its own, people really work out to look good at the gym without really thinking about what it does for you outside. And so I think, that over-reliance on gyms really, really stood out, and I was able to kind of snap out of it really fast, which is nice. I think more and more trainers, I think more and more trainers are going to be able to do that.
Okay. So for all the folks who watched our old videos that are ambitious, ace personal trainer hopefuls,
Yeah.
we told them that they can get their leads at gyms. Okay, right?
Yep.
Like that was one of our big things. Was like you create a funnel from people. How you got me as a client. I approached you because I knew I needed a personal trainer, and you were friendly and helpful, and you built rapport with people in my gym. So
Yeah.
a little bit of social proof there, all gone. So how do you get clients now? First of all, how do you get your new clients? Second of all, how does your volume of clients compare to pre-COVID? Are you just at the same amount of clients, but you're getting more money because you're not paying commissions to the gyms? Or are you also increasing your clients as a whole? Like, what's the scoop?
So the trend right now is, as soon as COVID hit, the volume of clients went down.
Okay.
The volume of clients went down, and this was due to lots of factors. A lot of my clients did not feel comfortable even leaving their apartments.
Yeah, they didn't want you over.
They did not want me over. They don't want to see anybody.
Yeah.
They had fear of touching things in general outside. So even things like touching the ground and touching mats or touching a band even or touching a kettlebell, anything like that, that was out the window. So I lost a lot of volume of clients initially.
But not
Now
all.
that has not all. No,
Okay.
not all. I've at my lowest I was training, maybe I start off with 8 or 10 clients. Probably.
That was your lowest.
That was my lowest, yeah.
And you're able to live off 8 or 10 clients?
Yeah, I was definitely able to live off 8 or 10 clients.
Nice.
And that pretty rapidly changed. Now I have probably double that in clients. And all the new clients that I've gotten are all, the big ticket clients, the clients that just pay me directly and we go from there. And honestly, they've been all high quality leads because where I'm at in my business is, a lot of referrals and people that have already seen me work for a certain period of time. So they kind of already know. And that's not super helpful for all the beginning trainers. But here's what I will say. The gym was a funnel, and it was a useful funnel because we knew that the people that walked into the gym were more likely to see the value in what we did as trainers, business-wise. Honestly, that's the only... And then it gave us tools to do our job. Tools like the chest press, the cable machines, the dumbbells. It gives us tools, right?
Yeah.
But those tools can easily be replaced. So that's out the window. The second thing we need to figure out is the funnel portion. So if you're a new trainer, look, the gym was a place where people that may have wanted your service came together. All you have to do is find another place like that. Okay, so it could be anything. It could be Starbucks. It could be Target's popping in my head. I don't know, Target's in trouble right now, but like
I wouldn't go to Target.
It could be Target. Yeah, it could be Walmart. Wherever.
Yeah.
It could be your neighborhood. I don't know, your neighborhood little retail store that sells sports clothing or something, right? So it really depends on where you're at and what you do. Maybe it's the lake that people go to fish.
How do you approach people and engage them? Because you don't have the immediate like fitness, like, oh, hey, can I give you some advice? Or, it's not necessarily the same.
It's not necessarily the same, but what you can do is number one, you could still demonstrate your product. So you can go in and find ways to either do something to do with fitness, whether it's mobility work, whether it's actually working out, whether it's doing something, stretching even, things like that. So you can demonstrate your product. You can, number two, straight up just introduce yourself. So I got no problem standing on my street corner right now and just literally shaking I can't shake everyone's hand, but greet people, smile at them, look them in the eye, say hey, and then literally building from there. So as soon as you say hi to somebody, the the game is on. So as soon as you say hi, every little thing that you can remember about them to just show that you've cared, whether or not they like you, whether or not they forgot about you, anything.
Yeah.
If you see them again, let them, somehow let them know that you've noticed them, you've cared enough about them to at least remember something about them, their name, and then build from there. Maybe the next time you say hey and you exchange your names. Hey, I'm Jimmy. I'm just a personal trainer that's taking care of this neighborhood. Just I'll be here if you have any concerns. And you just leave it at that, and you'll just keep going on and on and on. And if one of those, it's probably going to be one of every 50. And it'll maybe take you saying hi to the same person 7 times.
Yep.
That they even approach you and ask you any type of simple question. Oh, hey, I'm looking to, I'm going to go to the grocery store right now and wondering, I don't know, or even something as simple as, are watermelons in season? That's a great question. That they've asked you something like, if you were a total stranger, they would never ask that question to you. Yep. And so you should take that as a sign of number one, however you answer that question is huge. If you just say I don't know, blah, blah, and you're just kind of being not enthusiastic, not sharp, and don't seem like you know anything, they're going to kind of take it as this is how you do business. So whatever question they ask you, being ready for it, being on the ball, I absolutely think watermelons are in season, but you know what? I would actually recommend that strawberries are a much better choice right now for these reasons. Bang, bang, bang. And then maybe follow up asking, do you like strawberries? Something like that, right? So making it seem like this is how you do business. Even this random question, what they're trying to do is just feel you out as a person, as someone that you're going to work with, let alone, aside from what do you do as a job? What do you do? What is your fitness training going to look like? They just want to know what kind of person you are. So I would focus on that. Just try to get people to understand who you are, not really what you are, just who you are. And then hustle, that's where hustle comes in. You got to do that all the time. Hit it.
Do you train groups of people in the park right now, or are you just doing one-on-one sessions only?
Right now, I only do one-on-one. I do partner stuff, so I have 2 sets of partners. Yeah. But those are people that are really comfortable with each other, so they're
right. They're already bonded. Yeah, exactly. They're socially insulated.
Yeah, and that's honest. One of the things too is to look out for is you really want to if there's an opportunity that comes up, take it. If you don't want to go in with this set of this is my business, I'm only going to do these type of people. If you're in the beginning and you see an opportunity, honestly, say yes and try to think of, certain packages that you have to think of on the fly. If someone comes up to you and asks you, hey, I want to train not only with my husband, but my brother is also coming now and he wants to train for a couple weeks. You right on the spot, you should be like, that's exactly what I do. Actually, that's something that I've done before.
That's what you said to me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for you, it was very, very natural because I have had a lot of clients in your position that's similar. But let's say
I had knee pain, by the way. That was what I introed him with.
Yeah, and so I had a good sense of what the questions I should ask you and how to set the next appointment up and exchange contact information. But let's say I had never encountered someone like you. I had never even, let's say I wasn't even a personal trainer. I was just in the gym, right? Those are the, and you approached me, I want to be able to be prepared for that. So, when you're alone in your room, come up with scenarios. If somebody approaches me, what do I do? What do I say? What are the next steps? What's the detail that I need to hash out right then on the spot to make it possible?
If I were trying to become a personal trainer, if I just got my ACE certification, and I'm trying to get my maybe not first client, even if I wanted to get my first client, here's what I would do. I want your opinion on this. If I had 0 clients, I would call up a friend
Yep.
and say, hey, I want to give you free personal training.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I would say, we're going to do it in the park, and I'm going to put up a tent that says, ask me about personal training. And anytime I'm out there training my one friend, I would have a sign that just says, ask me, maybe throw my number on it, all handwritten, super like free. And then that's how I would do it, because everyone's out in the parks right now, like parks, beaches, same thing at the beach, like sidewalks, like I'm here in the city, and dude, everyone's outdoors. So that's my approach, would be my approach.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I love it. In fact, I would call up 10 of your friends.
Okay.
And train them all day.
Yeah.
Like, you want to create a product, right? So the gym comes with this notion of, like, it's built into the gym. Like, personal training happens at the gym. That's something that the gym has done a great job of for personal trainers.
Yep.
That's one of the values of working at a gym and paying them commission or paying them rent or whatever it is you do. But you can easily create that yourself by training people. Now, do the potential clients walking down the street know who's paying you, who's not paying you, what are they paying you? No.
Nope.
All it is a chance for you to demonstrate value. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would I would do it if you call 50 people. Hey, do you want a free workout? Sure. Boom, meet me at the park. Blank. Done.
Those
Easy.
folks will end up being your first clients, won't they? Yeah.
They absolutely will. If you say, hey, I'm going to do this for a week, and then I'm going to start filling you up with paying clients. But if you want, you could stick around and be one of those people. I guarantee. And this comes in where if you do a good job, they're going to say yes. If you do a bad job, some people are going to say no. But I mean, how are you going to get better? Through practice. So it's good to do it anyway, even if you feel like you're not good. So
you have this ebook that you've developed, right? You're selling that. I hope people buy it. It sounds worthwhile. You've answered from the 2 videos we've done. You're answering like weekly questions from people who are looking to become personal trainers. Mm-hmm. Can people hire you to advise them?
So what I've done over this past 3 months now also is I've started a forum on my website, so builtbyjimmy.net. There's a little personal trainer forum on there, and basically it's all the questions I get asked on a weekly basis. I mean, every other day it seems like there's some.
Yeah, I see the comments and a lot of repeat questions.
Yeah, and so I've answered all of those. I mean, I've answered. It's just me writing, and I'll update it every single day. And so I'll have videos on there about any topic you can think of. I'll have articles on there on any topic you can think of. It's literally, it's broken down into clients, branding, marketing, the sessions themselves. And there's another topic I can't think of right now, but it's everything that I want people, that I want trainers to not have to get bad advice on, basically.
Yep.
That is what I've done. So builtbyjimmy.net/forum, that's where it's at. And it is a subscription, so it's $35 a year, and literally it's kind of just a little deposit for me to stay motivated and to spend time on it.
Awesome.
But
I hope that grows. People watching this, go check out the forum. Support this man. He's doing incredible work, and he's paid it forward 10 times over. So, can we talk about the shoe collection behind you? What?
Oh yeah!
Holy cow! So you must be a sneakerhead.
I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead. A lot of people have approached me about that. They're like, "Hey, are you a collector?"
Yeah.
And is that what a sneakerhead is? Is like someone who collects shoes?
Yeah, but I would say there's a certain passion. Maybe I should make a video on sneakerheads. There's a certain passion behind being a sneakerhead. The models, the years they came out, the limited editions, and who designed them, and the sort of, there's a culture to it.
Got it. Okay.
So,
here's what I say about that. I'm not really. I wouldn't consider myself a sneakerhead. So really, the reason that I end up with so many shoes, and I mean, obviously, so many is pretty relative. I have like a little over 150 now.
Okay, that's
a
pretty good collection.
Well, it's way more than what someone needs, yeah, obviously. But the reason I started buying shoes was literally for marketing. Like, I was in the gym, and I wanted to be the guy with different shoes. You know, like, I wanted to like have different color shoes for every day of the week. And honestly, practically, it started off as like I was on my feet for like 16, I don't know, sometimes 18, 20 hours a day, like at the gym. And I literally was like this shoe is gonna get old really fast. Like, it's gonna wear out really fast. Let me just get 2 pairs, you know, so they last a long time. And then 3 pairs, and then 4 pairs, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just buy the whole, like, every color of this shoe, because I like the feel of it. So I bought every color, and then the next shoe came out, and so I started buying those. And so it really purely was for my job. Like, I bought shoes to make money. And honestly, I have an article about this on my forum, but it's really like I'm trying to leverage Nike's brand to jumpstart my own brand.
Yeah.
So whenever people see me wearing Nike, talking about Nike, you know, I got Nike pants on, Nike shirt on. Yeah, here it is, Nike.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose, you know, and what I want people to subconsciously feel when they see me is the Nike brand. And obviously it's a brand that I like. I just happen to like it, but it could have easily been Adidas or New Balance. And I joke all the time now that I hate Adidas and New Balance, but you know, honestly, the shoes are really, if we're talking business wise, the shoes are the same. I mean, they're all comfortable. They all have great quality shoes, whatever. It's just, I chose Nike, and I want to have that brand loyalty and the brand leverage for my own brand. And so that's why I have all these shoes is it gives people a talking point, but also just for the brand leverage that Nike can give me.
Can people buy that shirt yet or no?
No, this polo, I custom ordered it for myself only. I do have some shirts that I give out, but really, you know, I don't want to become an apparel company. If you want a shirt, you know, you can either order one on like teespring.com or something like that.
What about people who subscribe to your forum? Maybe
I'll make a special shirt. Yeah, I'll make a special shirt and I'll send it out personally. But cool. I don't ever foresee myself really charging people for shirts.
Yeah, but that's a nice personal touch, though, right? Because that's a physical way to be part of this forum that you're building. So, exactly. You know, it's my 2 cents. You know.
Yeah. No, that's definitely on my radar. If it becomes, you know, if I see an opportunity to get everyone together and send them shirts, I'll definitely do that. Just like I do with my clients. You know, sometimes I'll make a shirt and then send it out, a limited number of shirts, and then they'll wear them in the gym and whatnot. So there's going to be a lot of distractions that happen always. You know, on a regular basis, it may be happy hours, it may be holidays, it may be weekends.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, don't get caught up in those distractions. Right now, we have a different magnitude and different type of distraction happening right now, but business is still business. If you understand the components and the value that each piece of the business is bringing you, like the gym, you'll be able to pivot if you need to very quickly, which is really important for trainers. If you're talking about what each trainer is doing, I mean, you always have to be willing to go from this point of view to this point of view and still hit the gas really, really hard. So that's probably my biggest piece of advice for this.
When is the YouTube channel launching?
So I have a lot of YouTube. I filmed over like, including the ebook, because I filmed all my things and uploaded them on YouTube to make the ebook. I have like over 100 videos now that I've uploaded
They're
on
all
there.
they're unlisted, or they're
But
public?
they're all unlisted. They're all unlisted.
Okay, all right, that's different.
So,
that's different.
Yeah,
What's the
different.
public channel?
I don't know. I'll have to think of it because I
Dude,
think
you
I have
could use that as a funnel. You can funnel a few good public videos to get people to subscribe to your unlisted work. Man, that's so good. Yeah. So the ebook is not just a book; it's also videos.
Yep, it's got links to videos in there, and it's got instructions on each setup, how to set every exercise up, what to focus on each exercise, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be feeling, and then it's got the demonstration of me doing the movement. And I even have like setup videos, how to set the bands up, things like that. So it's I'm proud of it. It's nice.
Jimmy, I'm so glad we got to do this again.
I
really hope this video helps a lot of folks. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. There's links in the description to Jimmy's resources, his forum, his website, and as well as a link in the description to the resistance bands that he's used to train himself now, since he doesn't have weights, as well as using to train his clients. So use that link if you're interested in picking up some of those resistance bands. Hit the like button. Let me know if you liked this video. I enjoyed making it, of course, as usual. So subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.